Hello folks, Bobby Brown here with Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycles. This short video is my own personal story, my journey with both brands, Harley Davidson motorcycles and Indian motorcycles. And it's really a love affair of both brands. And my journey started back when I was 19 years old when I purchased my very first Harley Davidson, which was a lowrider. And man, I had a blast with that motorcycle. And over the years, I purchased many different models of Harley Davidson motorcycles. And my last two motorcycles with Harley Davidson was a Street Glide and a Road Glide Ultra, which I enjoyed immensely. I was so loyal to the brand of Harley Davidson that I went to work for that company. And I spent about 8 to 9 years locally here with the Harley Davidson business. And I had a lot of fun, enjoyed it tremendously, met a lot of great people, and really enjoyed the brand. A few years back, our sales manager at that time met with the sales team and advised that the company, Indian Motorcycles, were making headway into the market share of Harley Davidson. He thought it would be a very good idea for us to get educated on the brand of Indian motorcycles. So when the consumer walked through that door, we'd be able to educate them on the difference between Harley Davidson and Indian motorcycles. Depending on what model they were looking at with Indian, we would show them the similar model of the Harley Davidson at that time. That really got me thinking about if Indian was making that big of a move, and I'd heard that Indian was purchased back in 2012, 13 or so by Polaris, and that the company had deep pockets and they were really making headway, moving forward quickly with their brand and making a lot of noise while doing so. So I did a little research on myself, and historically the companies are very, very similar. Indian Motorcycle started in 1901, Harley Davidson in 1903, but they both had different journeys. They both went in different directions. Harley Davidson over the period of time became dominant with their motorcycle brand, and brand awareness was great. When you mentioned Harley Davidson, everybody wanted one. They didn't need one, they just wanted one because of how well that company was branded. Now, I took a look at Indian motorcycles, and for me, I needed to drive one so I could see or feel what the difference may or may not be for me personally. So I took a Chieftain out on the road, real similar to the Street Glide of Harley Davidson. And two things got my attention very quickly. One was the low end torque of the Chieftain. Incredible low end power. Throttle response was powerful. But what really got my attention was the smoothness of the ride. There was really no comparison. I didn't have to avoid the bumps in the road. That Chieftain just cruised along. Very comfortable ride compared to the fact that with my Street Glide, when I hit a bump, it felt like my kidneys were going up in my throat. I still love the Street Glide, but when I got on that Chieftain, it was a whole different experience for me. And when I threw that Chieftain into the corners around the curve, it would lay over and really power through that curve. I didn't have to chase the motorcycle up the curve. When I pointed it in a direction, it stayed in that direction. So the ride was impressive. And that particular test drive really got my attention. The next bike I jumped on was the Indian Roadmaster. Very similar to the Road Glide Ultra in my case. That was the bike that I owned. It had a fixed fairing, of course. The Road Glide, the Roadmaster does not, but it's similar in weight and distribution in terms of the power that both motorcycles have. But again, when I got on the Roadmaster, the low end torque was noticeable. The ride was, again, phenomenal. Cruising at that bike, and even though the motorcycle weighs over 900 and some pounds, it was so well balanced that when cornering through the curves, going up the mountain, it was quite the unique experience. For me, it was not a life-changing experience, but it definitely was a wake-up call for me. There was no doubt in my mind, there was no comparison between the ride, the power, and the stability of the motorcycle Indian compared to Harley Davidson. I'm not saying that that will be the same for you, but I am encouraging each and every one of you watching this video that are currently riding a Harley Davidson or a different model, a make or model motorcycle, to come down to Indian Motorcycle down here at 6650 Corporate Drive here in Colorado Springs and see it for yourself. Take out a similar model of Indian so you can compare apples to apples and see what you think of the ride of the Indian motorcycle. Whether it be the Scout versus the Sportster, the Chieftain versus the Street Glide, the Roadmaster compared to the Ultra Glide or Road Glide Ultra. You make your choice. Come on down, we'll put you out on the bike. This way you can make your own informed decision, make your own story, if you will, because it did affect me. It affected me in such a way that I now work for Colorado Springs Indian Motorcycle Company, a phenomenal company, but the local ownership here is truly amazing, folks. It's a local family. They're great people. They built a phenomenal dealership. So come on down, take a tour of the business. We'll put you out on a test drive, and you can start your journey, make your story with Indian motorcycles. So I look forward to seeing you. We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Mondays right now. We're open from 10 to 4 p.m. I look forward to seeing you real soon. I hope you have a great day.